Good day, Ms. Mara. Good day, everyone. So, karon ato pag-istoryahan ng biotechnology, specifically the genetically modified crops or the GM crops, and how they relate to human flourishing using the science, technology, and society perspective. So, first, human flourishing isn't just about surviving. It's about living well, having enough food, stable income, and what you call this, good health. And of course, ang pinaka-importante sa tanan, a safe nga environment. Now, ang kaning GM crops is mauni ang mga tanong nga like gi-modify o gi-alter bali ang DNA niya or genes para like maka-resist bitaw siya sa mga sa tawag mga pests, mga diseases or extreme weather conditions since ato ang GM crops is like naitay mga crops na kasi tawag heat resistance or drought resistance. So tungod ani ang mga farmers like ina-allow gani sa nga technology nga murag mas mag-boost ang ilang pagpananom o ma-reduce ang losses nga panghitabo. So especially during sa mga times nga like ang climate is like dili na to ma-predict like init kayo kay namoy mga plants nga sensitive gyud kay sa climate. So this basically food security, meaning mas daghan ang ato ang stable food supply and dili gyud hunger ang masolve. It also improves overall health and productivity, which is very important yun sa human flourishing. Since some GM crops are pest resistant, farmers don't have to rely on like chemical pesticides since tungod ang chemical pesticides good is like costly. So of course since costly chemical pesticides ma-lower gud ang cost sa ato ang farmers which is very helpful. Tungod is di na sila magpalitan ng mga chemical pesticide. Tungod is pest resistant na ang GM crops. So it also maka-reduce siya sa health risk sa farmers. Okay, tungod biya sa is like ma-apply sila sa chemical, ma-inhale din na nila. That is totally normal. So, mas better na naagin siyang technology po. So, overall, biotechnology clearly supports human flourishing in many ways. But we also need to look at the challenges na iyang ginadala, di ba, Charles?
Yes, and that's where the idea of technological paradox comes in. So, basically, technology means mag-solve of problems, but at the same time, mag-create siya new. So, for example, GM crops increase productivity. But, ang seeds nga ilang gitanon is gikan sa large biotech companies. So, this mean farmers can't reuse them and kailangan nila mag-buy of new seeds every season. So, kani siya is mahimo ang mga farmers mahimong dependent sa large na companies o instead nga mahimong independent.
So basically, you're saying ang kaning mga companies is like ginahimo nila ang farmers nga mag-depend na lang sa ilaha kaysa maghiyog sila sa ilahon.
Yes, kay nag-base mo gyapon na sa knowledge sa farmers. So, which is big issue siya, especially sa mga small-scale farmers. Kay over time, nag-increase ang inequality. Kay dili tanang tao ma-afford na ay same level of access sa kanang technology. So, dili tanang tao makita ang GM crops as the same way kung sa makita unsa na makita sa uban. So, some people makita siya na as a solution sa hunger. Ang uban pang tao makita siya as a cautious tungod sa risk. So that's what we call this is what we call interpretive flexibility. Different groups interpret the same technology differently depende sa ilahang experience and sa ilang values. So it shows that technology isn't neutral, but it is shaped by social and economic system, not just science alone.
So basically, is that ang technology is, hindi siya neutral. Lagi siya yung mga advantages, napod siya yung disadvantages at the same time. So, balik ka lang, it is like, dapat proper na gano'n yung paggamit na gano'n.
Yes.
So, like, dili kita fully magsalig yun.
And right, building on that, there are also ethical and environmental concerns we need to consider. One major issue is the SIM ownership, and some of the sales companies hold patents. They also have the power to produce food. So some of the farmers that have any power does have the right to farm because since companies have patent, they also control how food is produced, which shifts power away from farmers and raises questions to other people also about fairness and control in the food system. So then there are environment impacts like GM crops that can affect our kalikasan o ang biodiversity nato, like harming ato mga insects, ato mga pests na dili din matawag na pests na like ato crops and some of the beneficial insects that help us produce our crop and which disrupt our natural ecosystem. There's also risk of gene transfer, which modified genes spread to wild plants and causes long-term environmental. So our gene crops can spread like sa mga atong mga uban ng mga weeds na hindi natin ma-control sa farmers na naka-boost sa pag-resist of super weeds like mga plants that become resistant to like we call herbicides. So our nato mga farmers nato galisod na pag-control kiniya kaya hindi naman tayo ang gene crops na nakapakuan pati na yung mga weeds na tumanahin mo na super weeds to sa pagkadaghan. So nagalisod na to farmers sa pag-control over time. So while biotechnology improves productivity, it also lead to unintended environmental and social consequences from our SDS perspective. So this connects to development versus the development. So sa itong mag-decision kita dapat naka-importante nga magsakto nga paggamit na nakadependa mo kita. So development progress in agriculture, but also possible loss of ecological balance and traditional farming knowledge. So kung nakasanay na natin hindi sa biotechnology like GM crops na nakalimtan na nato ang ato mga technological farming like sa ato mga ancestors na pagtanong. So nakabase na kita. So dapat naka-balance na dapat para dito makalimtan na ito traditional farming.
So, ang pangata na kawan, kung sa akong na to, how we do make sure that biotechnology actually support long-term human pasture. So, first, we need to, there should be strong regulation and proper biosafety testing. So, kailangan na to one, safe o strong regulation about sa safe ang ato ang pag-testing sa mga proper biosafety testing to ensure that GM crops are safe. Kailangan nato sa safe ang ato ang gamit. For both humans, apil ang humans and also the ato ang environment. The government also needs to monitor the use properly. Transparency is most important, pinaka-importante kayo na siya. Like labeling the GMO products so people can make informed choices and trust the system more. And also the second is farmers, especially the mga gagmay ng mga farmers. So kailangan nila need to protection and there should be fair access to technology so benefits sila are not limited to big corporation. And lastly, we should really only on biotechnology. It should be combined with sustainable farming like practices like crop rotation and also the ecological and methods. This helps avoid the over-independence, avoid ang atong mga independence really, and prevent technology lock-in where we become relying on one system.